Children of the night, what music they make. They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
It's 1 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and the final guys are here to fight. Welcome to an episode 299 of Final Guys.
That's insane.
It's dumb. We will look back on our deathbed and go, what a colossal waste of time this is.
This is such a waste of time and money. It's so stupid.
But thanks to people like Drew Views, we've gotten some money back. So maybe we'll work out even in the end. I don't know. Tonight, our main feature is brand new movie that we watched on Amazon Prime, Two Witches. And I thought this was The Witch. I almost watched The Witch.
Is it a brand new movie? It's 2021.
Close enough. It's brand new.
Brand new to us.
Maybe
I don't know how long ago it actually came out. I don't think it came out.
Like they say 2021, but it might have done like a festival circuit and then hit till now. So that's why we're going to say brand new, you know? And as usual, we'll do our shenanigans, Jack's terrible news, the terrible movies we watch, awful books we read. But first, before we get to the drinking words, Jason Brandt has a very special, I don't know, it's not a PSA. Maybe we need Jerry Lewis, an announcement. Yeah. Hello, to get Jerry in here, beg for money.
I teased it last week, but I am working on a movie called The Last Kumite this summer. I'm going to be, and it is a big undertaking because I'm going to be gone for the entire month of June filming this.
Thank you.
So it's going to take a lot of work, but I'm very excited for it. And today we launched the Kickstarter for this thing. So I'm just going to play the 1 minute little trailer here. If you're watching, you'll be able to see it, obviously. And if you're listening, you will get to hear the amazing original song by Stan Bush, who did a song for Bloodsport, or Kickboxer, not The Last Kickboxer. It's the most 80s song you're going to hear. It is the best.
All the blood in my body rushed to one part of me when I heard this song.
It's so good. I don't know how he pulled off getting an original song for this, but he did, and it's freaking great. So now I have to see if I can actually find it.
Oh, come on.
Wait, I think I got it. All right, we ready?
Go for it.
For all fans of 80s and 90s action movies and classics such as Bloodsport and Kickboxer comes a real retro experience. The Last Kumite.
Getting ready for the fight of your life. The lion roars, cobra strikes, law of the jungle. Hands of steel that can break through ice. One lethal blow cuts you like a knife, ready to rumble. Forged by fire, a beast in the night. In the heat of attack, the victor will rise, live or die. Stand or fall. For the warrior, there's no surrender. For honor and glory, it's all out for blood. For the hero is now or never. There's no surrender. No surrender.
I feel like
God damn it.
This is like MTV world premiere video.
I want him to write the song that's played at my funeral.
So I've found out how much he paid for that. I can't say, but I was like, can I justify having a song like that made just for me? Just to have.
Play it everywhere you walk in public.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. So if anyone's interested in this, it's called The Last Kumite. It's on Kickstarter. We're trying to raise $160,000 to round out the funding. And we have Matthias Hughes in this, who's amazing. Cynthia Rothrock, Kurt McKinney. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Just got Billy Blanks like 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is
Crazy.
Unbelievable. So if you like these kinds of movies and you want to help out, go to Kickstarter. There's all kinds of cool things. You can even, if you have the money, there's a VIP session where you can come hang out with us on set for 2 days, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, good.
Is it Jesse the Body doing the narration?
No.
Dude, it sounded a lot like him, man.
I think that was a guy I found on Fiverr. I don't even know who that was.
That is amazing. So yeah, y'all got to support this.
And I will
find you down.
I forgot to put a link to the Kickstarter in the show notes, but I will do that. So if you're listening to this, there should be a Kickstarter link, and I'll put one in YouTube here in a second.
All right. So there's a few things y'all got to do. You got to support this Kickstarter. Michael Clark's book came out, and boy, did he have some issues. If you can go to Amazon right now and buy his new book, that would be awesome. In fact, Sheila Porter started the show, said, "Be right back. I forgot I got to pick up Michael Clark's new book on Kindle." So go grab one while you can.
Poor Mike. Man.
Dad, I'm going to tap you to do the drinking word tonight.
Oh, sure.
But I want you to do whippets every time a word is said. Can we make...
Do we have drinking words? I'm not seeing him in the chat.
Wait, we don't have drinking words? Sheridan's here.
Yeah, he's here.
He had drink number 1, late start.
Yeah, I don't see the actual drinking words.
All right, so we have a call out now. So how about this?
Maybe YouTube blocked them. It happens.
I'm very excited right now. I think I got to calm down. Let's bring the show down a little bit and get to Jack's award-winning news.
You got it. It's the news. Yay.
Drinking words are "it's the news" and "yay."
Yay! Drink.
Big news breaking today. Saul Hudson is starting a new horror production company.
Who?
Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I recognized the name.
That's fun. Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I guess he had been involved in some other movie called The Breach back in 2022. I don't know.
Dude, he knows
He's a big
horror.
horror fan.
Look,
I saw him in concert. He's awesome in concert. So
anyone that's been in a band that big and does that much cocaine knows horror.
I saw Aerosmith in 2001, maybe, and it was during this crazy. It was an outdoor pavilion show. I was not under the pavilion. I was in the grass, and this insane thunderstorm hits around 10, and the show went till 11 or so. And Slash walks out on stage while Aerosmith is playing. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Walks out, and he and Joe Perry have a guitar off in the middle of this insane thunderstorm. Lightning was like cracking behind them, and they're just doing this insane guitar battle. It was, I will never forget that till the day I die.
They were vying for the devil's fucking eye right there, for sure.
There's this woman beside me. She was like 20. And as soon as the guitar battle started, she took off all her clothes and just started throwing them into the audience. It was wild.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was so crazy. The field got completely soaked. I was soaked. There was mud everywhere and just like naked chicks going crazy because of this guitar battle.
I miss the amount of nudity at concerts in the 80s. I saw more boobs in one show in the 80s than every dirty magazine I found in the woods or behind a garbage bin. It was amazing.
Yeah, when I saw AC/DC the first time, they would, they had the giant screen behind them at the one show I was at. It's a 150-foot screen, and they're just the cameraman's just zooming in on boobs in the audience. So these things are like the size of buildings on this screen. It was amazing.
My brother-in-law took my daughter to see Rob Zombie at somewhere in Jersey, and he came back. Now my daughter was like 12 at the time. He says on like 30-foot screens, he says they were showing like real like anal porn. He's like, Jesus. I apologize, but she saw this. I'm like, Rob Zombie at one point actually popped up behind her and shook her hand. So I'm like, I don't think she understood what was going on after that. Yeah, she was like thrilled. They were about the same height too.
I didn't get to see Guns N' Roses in their
I
heyday.
didn't either.
Then I saw the Axl Rose Buckethead version of them, which was a good show. Buckethead is the weirdest guy I've ever seen, but he's a great guitar player. But it wasn't Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And actually, I saw like the last show before Axl started flaking out on all the shows. Like all of a sudden it was like Axl left halfway through a show. He didn't show up for the next show. Like we got the last one at Madison Square Garden. Then when they got back together, all the shows were selling out instantly, and they were like playing at the Meadowlands, and I missed it. And then I'm standing in my driveway waiting for somebody to pick me up for the movies or something, and I just checked my phone. It's like they just released more tickets, and I just on my phone, bang, I got them, and was so excited. And then I went into work. That was like on the weekend. I went into work, and I was just this guy I worked with. I was like, "How's your weekend?" I was like, "Oh, it's great. I got Guns N' Roses tickets." And he's like, "Oh, I know this is a weird thing to ask, but can I please go with you? I've been up my 11." I was like, "Yeah, I haven't going yet. You're in, man." So we had a great time. It was awesome.
See, to me, Guns N' Roses is never complete without Izzy Stradlin. He was the engine behind the whole damn thing. But
it was great seeing Slash and Axl together.
I got a cool.
Uh-oh.
He did have something cool.
It was so cool it broke his computer.
It was going to be about the Misfits or something.
Oh, you know what? He just got swept away by some cold November rain. Bye, Chad. Bye.
Well,
that timing was perfect.
Jenna Ortega hosted Saturday Night Live this weekend, and in her monologue, she mentioned she was 20, and I was like, "Oh my God, that girl's only 20, and she's already done more in her career than most people do their entire career."
Nuts going on.
The Jenna Ortega news is not only is Wednesday season 2 on track, but Tim Burton is in talks for her to possibly play Winona Ryder's daughter in the sequel to Beetlejuice that they're working on, that Michael Keaton's already signed on for.
Yeah,
that's still a go. Really?
Still a go. Keaton's on board, and now they're talking about the Jenna Ortega. Now I don't know if Winona Ryder is actually in it or not, but I hope so.
Can Alec Baldwin kill someone on the set?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin. I don't know if he's going to be participating.
Hey, Alec, you can come. No guns. No guns. All right.
Do you guys want to hear my funny story?
He left us hanging, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Buddy of mine sings for a band called The Accused, and he was in a band called 10 Minute Warning and another band called The Farts, both with Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, the blonde-haired bass player.
Revolver.
This is obviously before Duff comes from a long line of punk bands in Seattle, and that's where my buddy lives, Blaine. And Blaine saw him again like years later, and Duff was talking about doing a solo album. He's like, I should have you sing on my album. And Blaine's like, yeah, let's do that. And so Duff gave him his number. Blaine called him a few times over the next year. And Duff just ghosted him. And so Blaine had a eBay store selling vinyl and t-shirts and stuff for his band. And some girl had bought some rare fart stuff, and he could tell by her name, Duff whatever, that she was just collecting this for the Duff stuff. And so when contacting her about the sale, because this was a long time ago when eBay, you kind of had to contact people sometimes and stuff. He offered to sell her his phone number, kind of as a middle finger back to Duff to this huge super fan, to sell his home phone number to this chick for an extra $10 with the vinyl. So he sold the phone number to him, to the chick.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
By the way, Jason's phone number is for sale. Contact me. If you have Venmo, we can make this happen. Just so you all know.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right. So, Jack, we've got Slash News, Jenna Ortega. This is pretty good. This could win an award.
I'm going to close out on a positive note about an award.
All right.
Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar this weekend for Best Supporting Actress in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Great movie.
Surprise win. Nobody thought she was going to.
I thought you were going to say for Halloween. I was going to be like, what?
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
number
thought at
one,
first.
when she was going up, they were saying, and she was the star and producer of Halloween Ends. And I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
Halloween Ends was just mentioned on the Oscars.
Don't bring that up.
In her thank you speech, she had a great acceptance speech. And in it, she thanked the genre fans, the horror fans that have been supporting her the whole time. So if you weren't paying, if you didn't catch this on Twitter the next day or weren't watching that night, Jamie Lee Curtis gave us all a shout out. Way to go, Jamie.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Good old hot dog
she
finger.
shouted something like, "We won an Oscar."
Yeah.
Like as the genre.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that movie, by the way?
No, I haven't
Yes,
yet.
it was awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I saw that movie. I said, that's the best movie I've seen in years.
Nice.
The
I
best
can't
part,
believe it won.
the best part of the Oscars was the kid who played Short Round.
Yeah.
He won Best Supporting Actor, and he just gave this amazing speech and just like looks at the camera like, Mom, I won an Oscar. And I'm just like, oh God, it's Short Round.
And the Will Smith kicked him in the balls.
Yeah, that Will Smith came up and just pounded him into the dirt.
Fuck you!
He goes, you won't have a Netflix special. You can't fight back. And then suddenly a whip came around and grabbed Will Smith's hand. Get off my plane.
Harrison Ford smoking a doobie. Get off my
Harrison
kid.
Ford. First of all, Spielberg's in the crowd with Kate Capshaw. When they get to Best Picture, Harrison Ford is giving out the award. So Everything All at Once wins. So Short Round is now back on stage, and him and Harrison Ford hug each other. And if this doesn't get you in the feels, you're dead.
It wouldn't.
I heard the Oscars this year actually weren't as awful as they've been. I heard
3.5 hours.
Moving, and they actually a great movie won most of the stuff. So
I heard they toned down the insanity, all the politics, and the
there wasn't a whole lot. The most surprising thing was like Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about Robert Blake murdering his wife.
Oh my gosh!
Because Robert's not around to smack him, so it's safe. Kimmel's a fucking.
The other sad part was when they were leading into the people who died, and John Travolta was the one introducing this segment, and they're playing "Hopelessly Devoted to You," and I didn't know what was going on, and a friend of mine just goes, "Oh, this must be the in memory of," and all of a sudden all of us like, "Oh no, Olivia Newton-John," and like everybody got all sad. So
remind me after the show to tell you what my wife thinks John Travolta looks like now. It's not for the podcast.
Yeah,
remind me later.
Okay. Oh, I think I see drinking words.
Yes, there are drinking words. So, Chad, if
right.
your internet's up to it, go for it.
Do not do whippets when you hear these words. Don't listen to Hunter. Whippets
Do
are
whippets
horrible for you.
Fucking destroy your brains, especially
They don't
if
last
you want to write
long,
a
you get a
book and
headache.
repeat one day. Let's go.
But if you hear these words out of Jack's mouth, contacts, masha, burst, take a drink. Out of Hunter's mouth, Ouija or Ouija, part, roommate. Jason's words are liked, last, liked,
Last movie.
last, and movie. And my words are budget, characters, and jump. The bonus words are Raimi, scares, and witch.
There you go. You can do whippets. You can do heroin. You can drink wine. I don't care what you do. You can suck air for all I care.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. There you go. I don't suggest you do that. If you want to get through the rest of this show, you're going to need to fortify yourself. All right, let's get on to what we like to call curation.
We have such sights to show you.
Funny, curation in Key Swahili means giant waste of time. And I think that's very fitting for us. So I want to lead with Tubi. So I'm going to go with Chad today.
No Tubi today.
No Tubi.
What?
But
Are you okay?
But
Oh,
I
my.
guarantee this. I can almost guarantee that the movie that I watched is probably on Tubi.
Okay,
It's from 1970. I saw it on Shudder.
for sure.
Never heard of it. It's called And Soon the Darkness. It's I think it might be a British film. Maybe it's a French film. Maybe it's a hybrid. But it's about two British women who tour the French countryside on their bicycles. They
God,
get
that
into
sounds
it.
bad.
That sounds great.
They get into an argument and then they split up, and one of them, after trying to hook up again, you find out, her friend is missing. Now she can't find her friend, so she's talking to different people. All these people are acting shady for various reasons. Red herrings, obviously. They're trying to plant these red herrings, but the red herrings are they're almost like caricatures, so you're safe with this person or that person. The acting isn't bad. It's just that the slow pacing of the 70s films doubles down with this movie, and the speed of like a sleepwalking turtle with two legs. It's an hour and maybe, I think, 40 minutes or something, and they could have at least cut out 45 minutes.
Hour 34.
And it doesn't. Okay, it felt like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It felt a lot like one of those. Are you guys a fan of that British show Thriller? I love that show, and they've got
know what that is.
Really cool.
Know what? I don't know what that is either. Is it like the In-Betweeners?
No, it's like like Night Gallery or Tales from the Dark Side or something. But it's usually not supernatural. Some of them are. Freaking great show, man. They got it on, I think, Shudder. Tubi.
I'm very xenophobic.
Who was that emaciated Mike Nesmith looking guy?
I don't know. It could be the.
Can you all hear the creaking in my roof? Is that coming through the podcast?
Yeah,
it's nonstop.
I
we have a nor'easter going on here. I think.
Yeah, the wind is just going to start picking up overnight.
Yeah,
you need to get out of there. You need to get to the root cellar, Dorothy.
Get to the root cellar.
The wind is coming from in the house.
There's wind coming.
Wind.
Just the screenshots of this were boring me.
Oh, it looked terrible.
It's not horrible, but again, it's the 70s thing. It's too long to sit through. I don't really recommend it. I do recommend the show Thriller, though, for sure. That is a great show. So
is that on Tubi?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, even better.
And I think it's on Amazon Prime and maybe even Shudder.
All right, I like it.
Great show.
You know what? Sometimes we step on landmines, so you don't have to. Chad, thank you. That's a PSA right there.
So what I do.
Last Kumite. By the way, what does Kumite mean? What is a Kumite?
Kumite is the underground fighting organization you see in Bloodsport.
Oh, I would have pronounced it Kumite.
No.
Kumite.
It's basically every shitty martial arts movie from the 80s and 90s that ended up being an underground fighting organization. Those are basically Kumites.
Awesome. So you are our last Kumite. What did you watch?
I finished The Last of Us, which I haven't talked about too much because I wanted to wait till it was over to get a whole grasp of it. I don't want to show... What's that?
I did too. I'll chime in.
Oh, I got to still watch more.
I don't want to show any screenshots. I don't even want to show the cast because it could show... it could spoil who lives and dies if you see how many episodes are in or anything like that. This show is unbelievable. I mean, it's so well done. Honestly, had they not screwed up with 2 episodes, there would be no controversy about this being the best show of the year.
Because I stopped at episode 2. I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep going.
Dude, oh my God, it's so good.
I'm gonna now. There's enough people telling me to finish.
Everybody's mad because there are gay characters in 2 episodes. Whatever. My problem with the 2 episodes is that they're completely flashbacks, and if you took them out of the show, it would change literally nothing. So it felt like 2 of the 9 episodes, there's just, they're character driven, so it's kind of interesting in that way, but it doesn't further the story at all, and it chaps my ass.
Jason, do you watch the little things after the credits where the producers or director talk about? So if you on HBO, after the credits, they have a little segment where the producers talk about the process of making it and interview with them and why they made these decisions and how what happened in the game and why. So it was a brilliant thing they did because I didn't play the game, and so every time I would think maybe something like that, those guys were there to explain, well, we did this because it was in the game, or what's going on here, and they just explained everything. So if you were wondering why they did something, maybe you won't agree with everything why, but they were very smart to quickly explain to people who were wondering why they did something.
Smart.
Yeah, it still annoys me. I don't like that kind of storytelling. That's why I don't like prologues. I shouldn't say prologues. I don't like prequels. I don't like flashbacks. If you want it in the story, tell it in the story. Don't take me out of the story we're in to tell me about something that already happened. And if you take me back and I see two characters who aren't in the rest of the show, I'm like, well, shit, they're dead. You know what I mean?
You hate Pulp Fiction?
No. There are exceptions to every rule, and Quentin Tarantino is an exception to every rule. Otherwise, this show is freaking brilliant. It is so goddamn good. The set design, the effects, like everything in this is top notch. It is absolutely worth watching. If you're like me, you'll not be happy that, almost a fifth of the show doesn't really matter, but otherwise it's outstanding.
So is it 10 episodes?
9?
9? All right.
This show,
we'll blow through this over the weekend.
Hunter, what you'll like about it is this show does in 1 or 2 episodes what would take The Walking Dead 24 episodes to do.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Jason, you'd probably hate the movie Memento. It's a sequel, prequel, and flashback.
Oh, I love Memento.
Memento's awesome.
I love Memento.
I'm
so dumb, though. When I was watching that, it took me forever to figure out, is it the black and white that is playing forward and the rest of the movie's playing backwards? It took me until like the end of the movie, and I was like, oh, God damn it. I totally didn't get the editing trick.
That's all right.
Yeah, so watch The Last of Us. It's worth it. It's so good.
I'm definitely going to. We need something because there's nothing good out right now. I need something.
Yes, flashbacks are mini prequels. Yes, and that's why it chaps my ass.
He's such a baby. All right, you son of a witch, Campese. What you got?
All right, well, if you're looking for a TV show to watch, I keep telling you, go back and watch the Idris Elba series Luther, which was a BBC's. He's a cop with an anger management issue, and there's really brutal serial killers in every season. I have had this past weekend circled because the Luther movie just came out. They had 5 seasons of Luther and thought it was done forever. And they dropped Luther. What the hell is it called? The Fallen Son.
Okay.
The Vandrox.
So I watched it. Andy Serkis is the bad guy in this.
Nice.
And the good news is it's more Luther, so I was very happy. And you get a lot of what you'd been jonesing for if you're a Luther fan. Basically, he's a cop that kind of like a Dirty Harry or Batman, and that like do whatever it takes to get justice, even if you're breaking the rules kind of person. But there's more consequences for him than a lot of other TV cops who break the rules like that. So the thing I noticed about this, though, is that the Luther has always been a show with, I don't know how, it's BBC, so I can't remember how many episodes. It's a little different than.
They're random. They're not like us.
Yeah. But still, it had the production value and feel of a series. This was a Netflix movie with a big budget, so there was more special effects and everything was compacted into a movie. So it felt a little bit different than the like season 1 of Luther feels a lot different than this movie. Maybe more gritty. However, if you like Luther, you're going to be very, very excited that he's back, and it kind of opens the door for more. So we may be seeing like Idris Elba getting himself a little franchise of every couple of years a Luther movie or something like that. So
he should be the new James Bond, by the way.
I think he's not, but I think he might be delving back into Luther as an answer to that.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, this movie, like I said, I don't think it's quite at the level as the show was. But if you are looking for something to watch, especially like the first couple of seasons of Luther are some of the best. I need to go back and watch it because I kind of forgot most of the details. I just remember the broad strokes, but the serial killers are so vicious in that show. So
I honestly don't know that I've ever even heard anyone talk about this before.
Not on this show.
A friend of mine who has referred me to other stuff was the one who turned me on to Luther. And I think it's still on Netflix. I don't know where else you could get it.
And thank God it's not Lex Luthor, a non-comic book fucking thing. Or is this a comic book?
Mr. Luthor. I watched the Poseidon Adventure this weekend, and As Gene Hackman, he's the angry priest who hates God the whole time. Every time he talked, though, all I could hear was Lex Luthor.
Yeah, well, that's ruined things for people. All right, so I watched a movie. This is a household name, this movie. Everybody probably knows it. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's called Mardi Gras Massacre.
I saw that when I was in like high school.
Oh, so this was on Tubi. And this is about a serial killer.
Oh, I talked about this like a couple months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's why you should watch this. A, if you're too dumb to figure out who the bad guy is, well, the bad guy in this is so extreme. If you don't figure this out, fucking just bury yourself from the neck up and just stop breathing. It's a guy who goes to various bars and he's looking for hookers. Oh, these cops are amazing. I'll talk about the cop on the right in a little bit.
This guy's killing me.
This guy.
They're both hilarious.
I'll bring it up now. So the cop who was on the right, he's like the taller, I don't know what nationality he is. Anytime he talks, he points. So all his lines are delivered with a point.
Yes.
And the finger just hangs there for an uncomfortable amount of time because he doesn't know what to do. But anyway, there's this guy who the synopsis says he's a Vietnam vet. I don't think it's explained in the movie. But he goes to all these strip clubs. This dude, does he look like he's fucking right in the head? No, not at all. He doesn't even sound like he's right in the head.
What is this face?
So he's looking for hookers who are evil. So he's always looking for somebody who goes, but you have to be straight with me. Are they evil? Who's the most evil one you have here? And they always pick some floozy. I'm evil, whatever. And he brings them to his place, and it's a ritual thing. So it happens 4 or 5 times. He brings women in, he convinces them to get on this altar, and then he ties them up, massages their breasts and their vaginas with oil. And then he goes behind a curtain, comes out, stabs their hand, and then they do a close-up of this poorly made torso because all the nipples are purple. And he eviscerates them, right? So that's what's going on with the bad guy. The 2 cops that you saw, one cop falls in love with a hooker and just bangs her and breaks up with her. And then the other cop is the pointing cop.
Okay.
This movie is so colossally dumb. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Yeah.
If I was on a ventilator and on a lot of drugs, I'd still stay awake to watch this because I couldn't believe that this thing was made. It's unreal.
When I saw Hunter, I remember thinking, because basically, the scene where he goes into a bar, it's the same thing every time. He does it like 4 times. Different bar, different girl, same scenario. Now we do it again. We do it again. I got to give him credit, though. Those poorly made chests, they could have used the same one every time. They used different chests. They had different nipples, different breasts every time.
Yes, because as I noted, the breasts got smaller with each new kill.
Yeah.
So it started out with biggies and it started with D's and ended with like a bigger A. So they were changing it up. The ending is colossally stupid. But dude, you can't not watch this movie. This is a 10-car pileup on it's a 50-car pileup on the Autobahn. You're just gonna have to get out of your car and see what the fuck happens.
This was one of those video store movies when I was separating myself as a horror fan from the common fan to like Jack's a horror guy. I could have conversations with other people who saw Mardi Gras Massacre.
This is down and dirty. This is right up there with like Microwave Massacre. Like that's that kind of level.
What's the one Joe Bob showed with the girls in the cage and the
Blood-Sucking Freaks?
Blood-Sucking Freaks. I saw this right around the same time I saw
Look, it's not blood-sucking. You're not going to get 77 naked breasts, but it's on that kind of level.
Yeah.
Wasn't Blood-Sucking Freaks the first time Aaron watched with us?
Yes.
That's what you were saying recently, yeah.
How has he ever come back?
I don't know. I was like, dude, it's not always like this. I swear to God.
Poor guy. What a way to start. But if you're like trolling through Tubi and you want to watch something, go, hey, what's like a movie I've never seen and probably never should see? Mardi Gras Massacre. And plus, I'll see anything with the word massacre in it. So it had me hooked.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
I need to
was
see
amazing.
this.
Oh, I'm exhausted. I need a cigarette. Two Turds Lutsky. What you got?
All right, man. This time I watched a really good movie that you have all seen. I won't talk too much about it because I think it's been talked about at least twice on here. I saw The Menu finally. Really enjoyed it. Watched it with my wife. I just put it on and didn't tell her anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. I just figured, I just knew that it was horror adjacent. I personally consider it a horror movie. I know that I would not want to be in their situation.
True.
But briefly, for those who haven't seen it, just there's an island that is reserved that has like this chef living on it who runs a super elitist restaurant with there's a long waiting list to get there if you can even get there. And so the movie is about an evening with some people who do make it there, and that they are served meals that are kind of thematic, and in between each meal, a kind of a story is told and things escalate. It's pretty cool. It's different. I kept thinking about the Saw franchise and how ever since Saw, we get a lot of these movies that are trying to teach you some kind of lesson about gratitude or being a good person. And if you don't, then you have to, like Saw is all about you weren't thankful for what you had.
Right.
Now I'm going to force you to be thankful. And I kind of got that same feel out of The Menu as well.
Were you as captivated by Anya Taylor-Joy as I have always been?
Who was that? The Mexican girl?
Get the fuck out of here! I don't even know you. Goodbye. All right. So Chad's done.
I don't jot all the names of every.
She's the
girl
cheeseburger.
You know who Anya Taylor-Joy is?
It's not pretty girl.
No,
it's unique looking girl. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Did you see The Witch?
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the girls with the far apart eyes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I wasn't captivated by her.
You know what, Chad? You know what? If you and I are ever single, we should roommate because we will never cross streams. This will be a perfect arrangement. You'll have yours. I'll have mine. We'll never covet the others. All right, we're gonna make this happen. We're around the same age. I'm sure we're both sick of our wives at this point. Let's make this happen, Chad.
Oh no. I'll stick with what I got.
Actually, no. I was told if I get divorced, I'm gonna be buried in the fucking hole. But in another universe, you and I are enjoying totally different women and
probably
never caring about the other.
No threesomes. No worry about threesomes. No sharing.
Hey, you wanna get in? Nope, that's yours.
Eyes are too far apart.
This should. Jason just bailed out. By the way, this should be in the last Kumite. They should talk about this in the last.
It'd be a great conversation.
I think it would be. I think this will be more interesting than anything the last Kumite comes out with. Verbally, physicality. I think it's all going to be there.
You mean Kumite?
Kumite.
Just a thin layer of Kumite on your cracker. It's pretty good.
He just smiled and gave me a Kumite sandwich.
I love Vegemite. All right, Mr. Kumite. Hit us with. Do you have anything?
Yeah. What the hell? Oh, I watched The Consultant because
me too.
Jack had mentioned it. I liked this, and I think I probably shouldn't have, but it was so quirky and different and strange that I enjoyed it. I wanted to keep watching it. I wanted to see what the hell was going on. What's the actor's name? The main guy?
Christoph Waltz.
Wow. Is he good in this? Great. He's so good. My only problem with it, and it's a big problem that usually would upset me more, but I think because he's so good that I was able to look past it some, there are just no answers. Like, the series ends.
You have to know Bentley Little, because Bentley Little takes everyday things, a house, an insurance policy, going away on a vacation, and he makes it sinister without telling you all the answers. He just tries to make you uncomfortable in comfortable situations.
Well, then they did a good job adapting the book, because at the end I was like, so.
Well, they also set up season 2. So,
Do you think there will be a season 2? This
I
doesn't
do.
feel like the kind of show that's going to do that well.
It's getting enough views where they'll do it.
It's not reviewed very well, and I think it's because they don't answer
that show
questions.
Hunters got a season 2.
I don't know what that is.
By the way, Jason Ramirez, yes, if I can get an Anya Taylor-Joy body pillow, let me know where it is, and I'll buy it. I just need to measure the eyes. How far apart are they?
So I 100% think this is worth watching. I really enjoyed it. I wish we'd gotten more answers at the end, but Christopher Waltz is just amazing in this role.
Nobody does like the socially unaware, awkward, yet menacing.
Yeah,
like he
but
does.
sinister. Yeah.
I watched this in 24 hours. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning to start watching it and just finished it.
Dang. I mean, I really liked it. And they're short episodes. It's like 10 episodes, I think. 30 minutes apiece, maybe.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And it's Bentley Little, and we need to support this dude. This dude is my hero. He writes horror books, and he's been doing it for 35 years. He won't do conventions. He won't do social media. Go fuck yourself. I'm just going to write good books. And we should all be like that.
I have never read
Jason,
him.
you're like that.
I've never read him either.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Jason.
I have.
Chad.
I don't even think I have one of his books.
I do think I have one of his books.
I'll
I think
send
I
you
just
some.
haven't read it.
I'll send you guys some. I got them up here.
I feel like I might have started one and it didn't click with me, but I could be thinking of someone else.
Yeah,
In fact,
you're
I think I am.
Yeah, you're wrong. Trust me.
You're thinking of Peter Benchley.
Yeah, there you go. You're thinking of Peter Dinklage with his erotica fiction. Jack, help us out here.
Okay, well, it was the Academy Awards this weekend, and so I watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio because it was up for Best Animated Feature.
That's a movie?
It's a full-length feature movie with Ewan McGregor. He's not Jiminy Cricket. He's like Sebastian J. Cricket.
Oh, Jesus.
Christoph Waltz is the fox.
Perfect.
Here's some of the other names: Ron Perlman, John Turturro, Finn Wolfhard, Kate Blanchett,
Jesus.
Tilda Swinton.
Kate Blanchett and Tilda Swinton in the same freaking movie?
Yeah, they're all voices in this.
Oh, voices.
It's all
This is
stop
animated?
motion animation with like wood carvings that are like old German carvings and cuckoo clocks and stuff come to life.
Fucking Germans.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's Guillermo del Toro. So I'm watching this, and I know that Pinocchio is always one of the darker cartoons. I don't remember much about the original, but when I watch this, it's an amazing piece of stop motion animation. But this movie, like,
Jack had
has
wood for this.
Mussolini is in this movie. It takes place in Italy during World War II. And
Mussolini
is actually in it. There's like children recruited into the army, and the war is going on around them. So there's like this. Look at that shot right there.
I can't handle
There's
this.
some dark stuff in this movie that I'm like, all right, I know that Pinocchio is kind of dark with the people turning into donkeys, used to scare kids and stuff. But I was like, I if anybody has like kids and watch this with their kids, I want to know because this felt like an animated movie for grown-ups, like a kid's movie just for grown-ups. I don't know if I was like a little kid, if I'd want to watch this. However, like I said, it is an artistic piece of work. It's amazing. The voice work, the animation, everything. As I'm watching it with all the dark stuff, I said, I would love to see him take a crack at Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Could you imagine Somber Town and Burgermeister Meisterburger and the Winter Warlock done by Guillermo del Toro? Would be amazing.
That'd be a shit show of amazing.
And there's songs and stuff. There's like Chippetta's, like you get his backstory. He had a son who died, and they like you meet the kid and he dies. Like, it's freaking sad. So again, if you want to see a very artistically well done movie, amazing voice work, watch it. But if you have kids and they watch it, please let me know whether they liked it or not, because to me this feels like something that a kid would either get bored or would start crying and run away from.
Just turn into a final guy. The Next Generation.
I didn't even know this existed.
And it won Best Animated, so it won an Oscar last.
So
Sunday night.
Tina Edwards, our favorite, says my kid loved Pan's Labyrinth. Which is
Oh
fucking
my
bananas.
God.
So where would you put this on the level with Pan's Labyrinth? Is this more for kids than Pan's Labyrinth, which is not for kids, or less?
Or like Nightmare Before Christmas, because it sounds like it has a lot of similarities.
It's more for kids than Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth was fucking nuts.
It's
wow.
Just as much as for kids, I think, as Nightmare. I'm not a big Nightmare Before Christmas person, so
I'm not.
I only saw it like once all the way through, and I never really liked it that much.
Oh, Pinocchio, let me sit on your face and tell me lies.
Like I said, it's good, but I'm watching it going, this is for grown-ups. This isn't for kids.
Okay. Well, then I might be interested. So maybe I'll check this out. All right. I'm going to finish with a movie that I watched the other night called All Eyes, which is trolling through Amazon Prime. Saw this movie, All Eyes. And I said, oh, it's Gravitas. So Gravitas, I think, remember when we used to make fun of like Hulu, like where all good horror movies went to die? Gravitas was always my thing of, oh, fuck, that's just garbage. So we looked at the coming attractions, which we rarely do, or the trailer. And I said, this looks like a little more. I thought it was going to be like a monster movie because it's about this farmer who invites this disgraced podcaster to come to his farm because there's a monster in his woods. Chad, you will like this movie because there is a beautiful beating heart in this movie. Because this farmer, as much as a gruff asshole kind of guy he is, and you think he's all backward, he is nothing like you think he is on the outside. There's a nice interior to him that is not apparent. And the podcaster, although you think he's just a fucking schmuck, there's a little more to him too. So you're getting, and it's mostly just these two guys sitting waiting for this monster in the woods to come out. I could not believe how good this movie was. Could not. I went into this, I said, all right, I'll probably be asleep within 20 minutes and we'll both be asleep and wake up and go, oh, fuck that movie. It was really, really good. Almost, I'm going to say worthy of a main feature. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Gravitas lately has hit me with some movies where the writing is very good. The filmmaking is actually pretty good. The only thing I would change is this. There was like 30 seconds of CGI that I would change. But other than that, the performances were really good. And the story about these two guys really hit me.
What is Gravitas? I don't.
Gravitas, they do like really shitty movies.
It's like A24 or one of those.
No. Oh, they're a production company?
Yeah. But like their like logo was a napkin. Like, yeah, I wrote this shit down on a cocktail napkin and we made it happen. Which is the way they were operating for a long time. But they're elevating their game. Look, this is a no-budget movie. But the writing is really good. The performances are really good.
Where'd you see it at?
On Amazon Prime. So if you have Prime, you don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's right there for you. Totally shocked. It was nothing like we thought it was going to be, and it was everything you'd hoped it could be. Surprising.
All right.
So yeah, in fact, I put this down on my book. I'm like, oh, this might make the top 13 at the end of the year.
Dang,
but I think it came out last year. I don't know, but I don't care. It's close enough. So check out All Eyes on Amazon Prime because it was really good. Total shocker. Now, before we get into two bitches, does anybody have anything else? Or you're all good?
Nope.
All right. By the way, this movie is Jack's recommendation. Let's get into Two Witches.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right, we got to make this happen fast. I am down to the dregs of my wine. There's not much left. So, Jack, can you give us a 2-sentence synopsis? You don't have to sing it. I don't need music this time around. Can you just tell us what this movie is all about?
There are two witches, an old witch and a young witch.
Henny Young Witch?
Part 1, Old witch is obsessed with a pregnant girl and her husband. Part 2, young witch lives with a roommate, is obsessed with her boyfriend. Intertwined in this is a young couple who is friends with everybody. Witchy things happen, and somebody watched Suspiria, all the Sam Raimi movies, and The Witch, and every other movie before they made this movie.
Fair enough.
Single white female witch.
Do you want me to explain how I came across this movie and why?
Please tell us.
So I was listening to a horror podcast. I can't remember which one. It might have been the Boo Crew.
Fuck them. Next.
And a guy says this. He reviews Two Witches, and he says it's the best horror movie he's seen in like 20 years or 10 years, something. Some kind of rave review. And I'm like, what's this? I write down.
Does he work for Bloody Disgusting?
He works for Dread Central.
No, there we go. Done.
I think it's one of those two.
Yeah, there we go.
So anyway, then I check YouTube and I see a couple of reviews. And again, there are people who are like raving about this movie. There was a couple who had some criticisms, but a lot of people like just surprised by it. So I'm like, okay, I'm game. I watch enough good and bad movies. I'll take a gamble. So do you want to know my initial thoughts on this? I'll go first.
You're rolling. Let's go. I'm not going to stop.
I watched this movie like Dave Portnoy. I felt like Dave Portnoy doing a pizza review.
Everybody knows one bite.
One bite. And I felt like it was like when he gets a pizza and there's something wrong with the pizza. It's overcooked. It's underdone. It's
a lot of
runny. There's too much flop. There's some inherently thing wrong that he's like, man, this could have been a really good pizza, but this. And for me, the thing that was like, I wish that they would have talked to me before they made the movie, because I think there's some really fun, low budget horror stuff done in this movie. Mm-hmm. But they go to the scary face, white eyes, stinger thing every 5 seconds of this movie. And
that's
the fast twitchy thing. And it just got to the point where I was like, I wish I was watching it with Hunter and we made a drinking game out of it.
Oh,
and we would have been hammered
great.
by the end of it. So I kept going. Every time they take like 2 steps forward with something like, oh, that was a pretty cool gore effect. I think the actress who plays the younger witch, I'd love to see her in other stuff. Mm-hmm. But they kept taking stupid. Every time they did that effect, I just kept going, all right, again. And then the other thing, like I said, is they throw every witch thing under. There's a witch with sunglasses. I'm like, that's Tilda Swinton from Suspiria. Oh wait, that's from The Witch. That's from Drag Me to Hell. And again, I like the homages they were doing with that, and I like some of the low budget effects that they did with that. But like I said, they just kept going to that well, and so every time they pull it back, just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
So those were your thoughts, yet you thought you wanted to tell us it's worth spending $5.
Well, number one, I saw all these reviews.
Oh, we're gonna fight now. Kids, earmuffs.
Based on last week, everybody's reaction to that sugar movie, I couldn't tell if everybody was gonna love that movie or hate it. We were divided on it. So
we were divided.
Number one. Number two, none of you schmucks watches a trailer or does any review. Like,
he's feeling his oats when he's pulled out schmucks. That's Jack's word when he's laying shit down right there.
So
I've been called a schmuck by him more times than I can count.
You get what you paid, especially you, Chad. Oh, I don't watch trailers. Watch a trailer. Make a decision, and you don't have to watch it.
I've been trying to make a decision.
Here's the problem. You made this decision, Jack.
No, I said I watched this.
Premeditated.
Watch something else.
You recommended this after watching it. Why?
No. Go back and read. I was neutral.
Go back.
I did go back and read today.
You mentioned it after watching it.
You got to step up and make a decision. I was neutral, so you could make your own decision. You live with it, and I'm glad you paid your $5 and didn't like it.
I like how you try to walk back that you completely fucked all of us.
I would do it again. any day.
I still love you, Jack.
Jack clearly is angry at all of us. There's a fucking clinical.
You're the
issue with
worst
Jack
one
right
out of
now.
all of them.
Why am I the worst one?
Because when it's time to make a decision, you're not
Fuck
saying anything, and then you just make a little comment like, "Ha
Yeah,
ha,
I made a comment.
LOL."
Dude.
What movie do you want to watch?
By
You
the way,
didn't
I'm
say
the only
anything.
one who can go to your house easily and kick your fucking ass. So watch
Bring
what you're
it.
saying.
Don't just sing it. Especially come out in this weather right now. And
I'll come
drive
out in this
fast.
weather right now. I'll
Finish
kick you all
their
the way to
wine.
fucking Bruce Park Grill. Me and
I'm
you.
gonna-
Let's fucking.
I'm gonna
tangle.
pick the most shoegazing, mumblecore, elevated, psychological, 2-hour dialogue-driven thing.
We're watching Skinamarink again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
plenty of dialogue in there.
Let me look at my fucking ceiling.
So wait,
All
what
right.
did you guys think of this?
I'm gonna go with Chad with his thinly veiled review. His name is Two Turds. So go for
All
it.
right.
man.
Because I know Jack loves my caveats and my disclaimers. He wants me to give a speech before I tell what I thought of a movie.
He can't spell caveat.
I
I'll Google
I
it
do-
while you're talking.
I do want to say that, like, I'm not out there making movies. Kudos to the people making movies, bad, good, whatever. Especially independent films. I don't like anybody doing any kind of indie anything. I don't like, stepping on them.
Right.
Or I don't know if it's necessarily called punching down, but I also like to be really honest, and I have my own, opinion. I really did not like this movie at all, like anything about it. Jack said a lot of what I didn't like about it: the overuse of the scary faces, the whole head turning thing and stuff was old immediately after Jacob's Ladder. It's in same with the spider walk and walking backwards and hiring a what ambidextrous, not ambidextrous, but those people that can the stretchy people who can walk on their hands and their feet backwards and stuff.
Triple
Cirque du
jointed.
Soleil.
I'm just over it. Those are some things that I just felt like it was just full of too many cheap jump scares. I didn't care about anybody in here, and I didn't fear anything because there was nothing. They didn't give us any kind of investment to care about anything. Like, they went from being, oh, don't worry about this old woman, to immediately everyone except for the girl who was worried about the old woman, they're all suddenly just petrified and worried. And I didn't understand it. I thought the writing was awful, to be honest with you. The acting, there was some good performances in here. The gore was good. I thought the gore was great as far as, some of the incisions and disemboweling and stuff that they did. And there were some things in here that I was shocked that they even showed, particularly in the first part of this movie, or the first section of this, the first tale, the first witch, whatever. But I thought the writing was bad. It's just bad.
What did you think of the penis being exposed?
I was
from the pants.
I was normally I would have just been disgusted, but somehow I was oddly entertained because it was such a bizarro, oddball thing to do.
This
I
is
couldn't
one of
go
the
through what I
reasons
would
I
see.
wanted you guys to watch this movie.
I love the fact that you got a witch movie and as a lascivious guy, oh, I'm gonna see some naked people doing spells, and no, you get a big wet schlong poking out at you. So I kind of appreciated that.
Yeah, it was not hidden in the shadows or hidden in pubes. It was right there.
Right there, fully cut and out there. All right, Jason, what's your view on this?
I'm going to mirror Chad here. I don't like trashing small movies, new movies in particular that have just been released in the last few years. I'm going to be working on a small movie that probably has a budget smaller than this soon.
Oh, we'll shit all over this.
And I'm probably going to end up reviewing it on my own YouTube channel so bad it's good. So, I understand.
Can we all come to your house and do it together?
That would be fun.
We should.
That
make sure
episode should just be me and Kevin.
Me and Jack will drive I'll pay for Chad's fucking plane ride, and we all watch that movie.
I would 100% be down for that. That would be amazing.
Done.
And I thought there were some really good shots, particularly in the beginning of it. Like there were a couple creepy shots that I was like, this isn't bad. But the further it went, the less I liked it. Even though there was some good stuff here and there throughout it. The writing, I just really had a problem with it, and the editing was the biggest thing. The real fast jump cutty editing. There's a scene where someone's set on fire. The musical choice is so strange, and the way it's done is so strange that I was just the dick scene. Like, I really didn't understand why some of this was happening, and
that was awesome. That
the schlong comes out of nowhere. That was very.
Yeah, the dick scene is what sticks in your head right there.
I have to talk about that more in spoilers because I had questions from like that point to the end of the movie. I had a lot of questions.
You had questions about? Oh God, I can't wait.
Yeah, because they introduce a lot. Like
a lot happens in like 5 minutes.
This movie.
Some of the performances were
show
good.
up in the last 5 minutes.
Some of the performances were good. They made some of the actresses do the scary face way too many times. Like here, put contacts in, do the scary face.
Right.
So, a lot of times, particularly in the last segment, I thought the two actresses who lived together did a good job. I didn't understand how they were college students or graduate students. The one appeared to be...
The one looked much older.
Like 40, 45.
You could start... No, in real life,
roommate,
she's mid-30s.
The roommate, not a witch, I actually think was doing great acting because she has to act like the person who's with her is being a weirdo, and I thought she was like coming off very sincere.
Yeah, the blonde woman.
Yeah,
who I think is like 40. I literally think is like 43 years old. So I didn't understand, even though they were good actors. I didn't understand. The age thing was I don't know. The whole thing was
like,
just kind
why
of
make them in college? Just make them
just I don't know.
Nurses or something. Yeah.
She got divorced and they're roommates. I don't know.
You can start college later.
But I thought the two of them had a good dynamic.
By the way, she was born in June 18th. There's no date for her, so forget it. We'll never know.
I had looked it up, not on IMDb, and I think I found the date. But man, some of the editing in I was just like, what are we doing here? So. It's a no for me. There was some talent in certain parts of this, but I didn't have a great time with this.
All right, that's a no dog. So I didn't watch any coming attractions. I just said, all right, this is the movie we're gonna do. Let's turn it on. Here's my deal. This is where I pulled out. When you got to the young witch, what was her name? Hold on, I'm going to look it
Masha.
up. Masha, who was played by
Masha.
Masha, I want to hit her nose with a football. Something Kennedy. Rebecca
Kennedy.
Yes. So I guess she was so good. She reminded me of the last girl I dated before I ran to marriage. This was the girl. She looked like her. She behaved like her. This is the girl when I took her to see Howard the Duck in the movies, was smoking a cigarette and kept burning her arm through the entire movie. So all I smelled was cigarette smoke and flesh, like burned flesh. I was like, all right, this is good enough for a third date. And we continued dating. She sent me to the hospital one night. And then the last time we dated, she filed her fucking eye teeth down with a metal file to vampire teeth. And I said, I think we're done here. I think we've gone as far as we can go. So there was something about this girl that reminded me of that girl where I retreated into a book as fast as I possibly could. So in 299 episodes, I DNF'd one movie, which was Scare Me. I could not fucking take another minute of that movie. Even though both actor and actress, I've enjoyed things they've done since. I could not. I hate it. That's my least favorite movie of everything. It's probably your Winchester, Jason.
Oh, wow. Those are strong words.
Which I hope you enjoy the Blu-ray.
Oh, I have it
Winchester.
still. You son of a bitch.
I hope it's...
I might have to buy this Blu-ray.
So This is the only one that I'm like, I don't know if I can keep watching this. And it has nothing to do with the filmmaking of it. I mean, it looked great. Like, Chad, I'm with you. Anybody who can get a movie made, fucking congratulations to you.
It's
Get
really
it
difficult.
done,
Yeah.
get it out there, because this is not easy. But that girl reminded me so much of a woman who my PTSD, I did not realize, is still existing 35 fucking years later. I was like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to read a non-horror novel. I'll keep this on in the background and I'll see how it ends. But I can't enjoy this girl
opposite
again.
for me. I thought she was cute and like she kept me watching. But I didn't have
my
that.
My ex was adorable, but she
I
was
didn't
also
have,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't have that PTSD.
Oh
for me.
God, I can
Share
feel it.
it.
I remember going to the emergency room thinking I had fucking AIDS. I was so scared. I was bleeding. Blood was everywhere. It was a disaster. I don't want to get into it, but this girl put me in a bad place. So, and this witch reminded me so much of her. I was triggered. You can be triggered after 50, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Sheridan claims that chick is 38 years old.
The blonde?
That's true.
The younger one?
Yeah. If that
the
is
younger
true,
one?
wow.
Holy crap. Rebecca Kennedy is 38.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. She looks so much
she's got
younger than that.
If that's true, she's got that going for her.
Well,
Wow.
did she go to the Cindy Crawford guy, Dr. Savah, or whatever his name is, the French guy who makes
Crap. She bathes in baby blood.
Dude,
She's Madame Bathory.
That is blowing my mind. She was 38.
She looks amazing.
She's totally Elizabeth Bathory.
If they, and I hope they don't, but if they ever remake Carrie again, they need to grab her.
She could do it. She could pull a teenager.
That's unbelievable. So the other actress, Christina Klebe, I guess I say her name, is 43. So that's what was like. I was thrown off by their living situation. Like I didn't.
That was weird.
Did they say college? Because Masha goes to the other girl's business.
Or graduate school, even?
One of them said graduate school. The mother, I think, said graduate school to one of them. So I didn't understand what was going on there. I didn't follow that.
I think the mother was also 38.
I will say there's one thing that I did like about it. There was a scene that I thought, okay, if the movie takes a turn with this right here, it just goes nuts. If it sticks to this, I'm gonna really like this. And that's when the boyfriend, or the husband, toward the beginning, closer to the beginning, when he accidentally cuts her finger off in the door and she's screaming about her finger.
Yeah.
And then her voice changes and stuff, and the fingers in it. I really liked that scene, and I was hoping that we'd stop seeing stuff that we've seen freaking a million times before in movies, and we start seeing some of this more unique stuff. And I the voice change and stuff I thought was legitimately creepy. There was even some things that she said, like, I had my baby. I'm glad we didn't have my baby. Some of that stuff that I thought was creepy too. But just too much of the samey stuff. I could not keep me. And of course the writing was just freaking.
All right, we got to get into this point.
Yes,
we're gonna ring the bell.
Yeah,
get the bell. Jesus is here.
So there were some moments like that, and then also at the end there's a party, and the guy from the first half, whose wife is like a psychic, he's talking with Masha by the door of the bathroom, and then she starts saying things that he's heard before. He's like, "What did you just say? What did you just say?" And I thought that was like very authentic for a guy who, like, in the first half was just the clown guy.
Oh, he was an idiot. He doesn't have a fucking crease in the bill of his hat. That's how you know you're a fucking idiot.
He was my favorite character. I thought he was freaking hilarious in the first half.
Oh,
I loved in the second half, like when he just shows up at the door and punches her in the face.
Yeah.
And dumps gasoline on her. So,
when his wife gets hit by a car, I thought I did not anticipate that.
That was funny.
Yeah, me neither.
That was good.
I did not like that.
All right. I had some questions and one like pretty serious criticism of the writing that I think really detracted the second story for me. You see the two roommates through most of it, right? And then we go to the mother's house, who we've only seen on the phone for a minute before this. And there's this whole reveal that the witch has killed her roommate, and she's under the table for the mom to see. And it's like, but we don't know the mom. We just met the mom. So there was no reveal. There was no tension there. It should have been the blonde at the table and her mother is under the table. And then we would have seen this character that we've been with for 20 minutes, a half an hour. We would have seen her in pain instead of some woman we just freaking met.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're killing your own tension in the movie with this. Like the blonde, there's no death scene. There's nothing. It's just bring in another character and show her. I don't know if like that actress, they couldn't afford her for like another day. But the shift there in the story really bothered me. And I feel like that was an easy fix, unless maybe it was budget. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
I was deep in a book at that point, so I have no idea anything you're talking about. I was reading a book about a 5-year-old who was lost in the woods and someone who goes out to find her.
While I was watching, I think I watched maybe 15 minutes of this before I grabbed my iPad and started working on some artwork for a book. And
did you guys watch the post-credit scene?
No.
Yeah. What the fuck?
No, I don't think I did.
I stopped reading for that, and it made no sense to me.
It's like 5 minutes long. It's ridiculous. Like there's a few minutes of credits, and then all of a sudden, it's the girl from the first half in like a police station.
Yep.
And her hair is cut short, and she's being interviewed by like a psychologist or something like that. And then the lights go off, and witchy stuff starts happening, and I don't even remember exactly what happens, but basically it's like setting up part 2 of this movie.
Yeah, no,
I
saw
at the end when it said to be continued, I had to jump right into prayer.
Yeah. I took a fucking high-powered Xanax and then proceeded to fade off into oblivion for the rest of the night.
All right, so my first question, of all the scenes to spend money on CG, why does it have to be a floating man we've never seen in the movie having his underwear torn away? Of all the places to spend,
we could see hanging brain, man.
Like, of all the places to spend that money, why?
Yeah,
like, were they doing that for the shock value so that the word of mouth for this movie?
It's the most memorable part of the movie. How often do you see that much dick?
But like, again, Jason, along the lines of what you were saying, like they refer to the boyfriend, but we never saw him ahead of time. So when it's just like, oh, I'm the boyfriend they've been talking about the whole time. And he's kind of awkward. So he doesn't do anything to charm you.
No.
Want to see my dick?
Maybe they
like
did.
He could have been one of the people at that party and gotten some screen time so that you
right. We're horrified for him. Instead, I'm just like, what the hell
Who's
is
this
happening?
guy?
Why am I so turned on?
My other question is, we just saw how powerful she is. She is floating a man in the air, tearing his clothes off with her powers. She answers the door and is completely felled by one punch to the face.
Well,
she doesn't go out.
In the face?
She falls to her butt, and then this guy like gets the can, puts it on, puts the gas. Like he does all this stuff.
She doesn't like crawl away. Or
she does nothing.
The last time you were punched in the face? If you do it right, it's
20 years ago.
Stunning. It ends fights. A good punch in the face. It's not like your movies that you
yeah,
watch.
But she wasn't like knocked out.
She wasn't messed up
and was like,
but she was fucked up. It rings a bell.
No,
it sends a message.
That was terrible. He should have like stabbed her.
Like Billy Blanks punching you 20 times, you're still standing. One punch in the face, all it takes.
Once you see the gas, if you're not knocked the hell out, and you see a gas can, you're trying to crawl away at least.
Like so I didn't understand that. How like all this power she has and one punch is all it takes. But then the music they play like this crazy rock over the music with the gas can. That was a decision I didn't get either.
You're the best.
Yeah, that felt like they were trying to go for like a the Craft kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
So then after that, you get to she wakes up in a bedroom all burned, and there's a coven of witches that we've never met.
Yeah,
and was that supposed to be because her mother or her grandmother was going to die and give her powers? Was that
right? Her Austin powers.
I guess, but did she? It seemed like she died. Then later that she was gonna die. Like she kept like showing, I'm not dead yet.
I think I died. I died a little.
But then the very like the witch, the devil is very whispery and talks like the devil and the witch. Does thou want to live deliciously?
I know 3 actual witches. Can anybody do a movie based on real witchery? Anybody? Just to respect.
That sounds kind of
witches?
boring. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say
might
that'd
be
probably
kind of
pretty
boring, but you know what? There might be full frontal. There might be some things you might enjoy.
We see some
be,
guy's dick.
There
as his
won't be
underwear's
like a
getting
close
ripped
up of
off.
a floating cock. I'll guarantee you that.
I want to see this movie in IMAX 3D.
By the way, Tina Edwards, she also said I DNF'd to scare me also. So Chad, when you and I get divorced within the next year, stay away from Tina. I'm going to ask her out on the greatest date she's ever had. Just so you know. You find someone else of your own ilk, some lady or something.
Tina is prettier than this Sydney chick and Darcy.
Yes.
Sydney. Oh God.
Sydney Sweeney?
What the hell are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
Sydney
Sweeney, we were talking about earlier.
The 2 chicks that you are that you regularly drool
Sydney
over.
Sweeney, we were talking earlier before the show about Sydney Sweeney and
is that before the show?
Paige Spiranak. Yes, we were talking about that earlier. But yes,
you're outing Hunter as a creepy pervert. Nobody had any idea till you just said that.
Nobody. What the fuck? You're blowing up my spot, man.
Yeah,
Hunter. How could you think
guy.
Sydney Sweeney and Paige Spiranak are hot? I can't believe
only
you.
shock anybody who knows me is gonna say.
I just don't see it.
I had to Google the Paige chick. She's very hot.
Well, all right, you agree with that? Thank you.
Oh, thank you for approving that one.
She's like the Pam Anderson of.
I give you permission to think she's hot as well.
Thank you very much.
In closing, about 2 Witches, if you were involved in the making of this, don't listen to anything I said. You got a movie made. I'm an idiot.
We're all idiots.
Same here.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, you made a movie. You've done more than I have, so that's awesome.
Good job.
Although you're about to make a movie if you get enough money. Let's go back to the beginning of the episode.
And then I will find podcasts where people absolutely trash everything that was done.
Oh, we're gonna fuck your movie up so bad. I can't wait till it's done.
As long as you give to the Kickstarter, it's fine.
So before we end the show, I just want to reiterate: next week is episode 300. We are going to bring Tim Meyer back, so there will be 5 of us, and I guarantee you, we will review a movie that you will have a shit ton of fun with. So I suggest you play the drinking game this time.
Maybe
I hope that all of us on here, well, Chad, you got your pen, your vape thing, but the other 3 of us have to pour our thing.
Make sure that thing's maxed out.
I don't know what's going on there with that vape thing. But anyway, I hope you all join us for that because it's going to be a shit ton of fun. If you thought episode 200 was great, we're going to make this even greater.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Be here in the chat. Maybe we'll give shit away. Didn't we give stuff away last time at 250? We'll give stuff away.
I think we did give away some ebooks or something.
I'm trying to get rid of all the shit in my attic so we can move. So I'll give you stuff up here.
I don't even think it was just like the one before New Year's Eve or something.
It was like Christmas or something. I think it was a special Christmas.
I don't think it was a
the
special
Christmas
number.
episode. We did
Gave
some
a bunch
special
of books
there.
away.
Like we dust him off the mothballs for a special thing. So 300 is it's 297 episodes more.
We should watch
than we thought
300
we'd
for
ever do.
300.
I was thinking of that too. But that's a good movie.
We dine in hell.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That's way too good for a special episode.
There's no penises, so why are we gonna bother?
Watch the Snyder cut of the Justice League.
Fuck you! Not happening. But you guys will love next week. So tune in next week. Until then, it's St. Patrick's Day Friday. So you all, Aaron go braless, whatever you want to do. Drink a lot. I'm starting right now, and I'm going to keep going till next Tuesday. What was yesterday? What was yesterday? Monday.
Yeah.
Was anything special yesterday?
Yeah, it was my birthday.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
that's why
that's
I
right.
had
Today's
to
the-
rush
God
watching
damn
a
it.
movie because I didn't have time the rest of the weekend because I was doing stuff.
For some
happy
reason in my
birthday, Jack.
head, I had it this
I hope
time
you
that
had
it
a
was
good
the
day.
17th. That's ridiculous.
That's why on Saturday I was like, I need to know what movie we're watching because I'm not going to have time to watch a movie. So there is the.
So that's why you
reason.
picked a movie you'd already seen and recommended.
Yes,
Which
It costs
is
money.
very smart on
Consider
my
that our
part.
gift to you.
Thank you for not remembering my birthday, all of you.
you deserve it for having us watch this.
I thought it was Friday. I'm wrong. All right. Happy birthday, Jack.
Happy birthday, Jack.
I got something special for you.
That was
Oh,
that was
God.
the secret
in my
reason why
pants.
I had a rush. I was like, I watch this.
All right. Well, look, you made it longer than anyone thought you would. So congratulations, Jack.
Probably the last one. So, you know.
Hunter says he's got something special for you, but first you got to get Mithrigan on DVD, right?
Oh, Mithrigan for sure.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna give
I
you
gotta
a
watch the
Mithrigan.
unrated version.
It's actually pretty good. It's about 30 seconds. You didn't get in the first movie. All right, everybody. Good night. Have a good week. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Everyone's Irish.
Bye.